scared. I was very frustrated. It was horrible to suddenly, because it happened pretty much overnight, I suddenly had to quit working. I was scared about our finances, paying the bills. I had always done all the paperwork. I had done all the shopping. I couldn't drive, so I couldn't do the shopping, and I always did all the Christmas presents shopping and wrapping and taking to the post office, and I couldn't do any of that anymore.
When I lost my sight, I felt that this was something that might go away, that I might get better, I might see some improvement, that I could hope for a condition which would not be so severe, but it's a question of fear and really being concerned about will I be able to function alone as an individual as opposed to being required to depend upon others.
As the disease progressed, I think one frightening and dismaying aspect at a time was when I had to stop driving. My children were so young at the time, and that meant a whole lot of family dynamics and ways of doing things that we'd have to change. I worked through that, and then a couple of years ago, it became evident that it was progressing even more to the point where it was becoming more difficult to read. At that time then, I was frightened, I was confused, didn't know where to head exactly, or what was going to happen. Also had workplace issues to deal with, and that was very frightening, I guess, and I just wasn't sure.
I was given appointments by the neurologists and the neuro-ophthalmologist to come back, and I did. First every month, then every 3 months. This we're talking now about the first 6 months after the event. And every time I go, I would be getting the tests for the fields of vision, for the acuity of vision, all kinds of tests for the brain. And then at the end, I end up talking for a few seconds or maybe minutes with the neuro-ophthalmologist who says, come back in 3 months so we can assess the situation more. Or come back in a month, whichever was the case. And I would sit down and say, well, what exactly is the neuro-ophthalmologist doing for me besides making a diagnosis? I know that I got problems. I have some friends that told me about a low vision center in Wheaton, Illinois. I would demand not living here until you give me a referral to go there. And that's when they say, oh yeah, they're wonderful people. But they never really told me anything about it, as if it didn't exist. And that to me is not only a mistake, it is a sin to not prepare the patient from early on and start working with a low vision center, even if they're waiting for stabilization. Why not prepare me and get me to the place where they can actually help?
Rehabilitation made me feel more of a whole person, despite my loss, and it made me feel happy again that I could be doing the things that I wanted to do. Strangely, I thought of the word hope and cope, and rehabilitation gives you hope in order to cope, and I think that's important.
Rehabilitation completely changed my life. I had very low vision prior to seeking rehabilitation, and it has enhanced my career. It's enhanced my living experience. I can now drive at night, which is something that I had never been able to do before. And it's just provided me with a lot of opportunities that I didn't have before.
As a result of visual rehabilitation, I was able to be successful as I went through school. I finished high school and I then went on to college and got my bachelor's in psychology. And after college, I obtained my master's in clinical psychology. And without the tools, including optical devices and adaptive computer software, I can't imagine how I could have been successful in school, because there's no way I could have kept up with a rigorous academic schedule.
Rehab is actually starting giving me now something to look forward to. I never thought that things will improve. Now I am seeing that there is a possibility for me to be able to read, to drive, to be a normal human being again, and that in itself is something to make my life a whole lot more cheerful than it used to be. And that's what rehab is doing for me.